Good afternoon, Pepper Spray Patty here to talk to you about stun guns, and specifically one of the stun guns that I like that is available on my website, pepperspraypatty.com. So a little bit about stun guns in general is a stun gun uses voltage and amperage to temporarily stun an attacker. Now, this is something where you will have to have physical contact with the other person. Now, first and foremost, I want to address that there is a difference between a stun gun and a taser. It's important to know the difference because the laws are different and they, as personal protection, work differently. For example, this is a stun gun. And that is how a stun gun works, is you have physical contact with another person using these prongs right here. That's where you firmly press that against the other person. And then when you press the button, it sends that electrical charge into those muscles. Now, it's only going to affect the muscles that are right there. So if you touch someone on their arm, then that's the muscle group that you're going to affect. If you touch them somewhere on their body, on their torso, their chest, their stomach, like that, you're going to have a larger group of muscles that you're going to be affecting. Ultimately, your goal is 3 to 5 seconds of firm physical contact with your attacker to be able to affect them enough that you'll be able to get away. Because really, truly, that is the goal, is to just get away and get somewhere where it's safe. And this is just a tool, just like all the rest of personal protection options, that give you the ability to defend yourself so that you can get away. Now, there are some challenges with stun guns, and the first thing is that you do have to have that physical contact. Now, there is something nice about stun guns, and that's what I just demonstrated to you, is that 1 second dry fire. What's great about that is you can use that as a deterrent if someone is coming at you or threatens you. I don't recommend walking around a parking lot doing this to keep animals and other people away from you. It actually kind of reminds me of the Brady Bunch episode where the boys and girls all went camping together. The whole family went camping together, and the boys told the girls that they needed to click 2 sticks together to make a noise that kept the bears away. And so the girls were walking around with their sticks, clicking them together to keep the bears away. That is not a deterrent. Basically, what you're doing by walking around hitting this button every few feet is letting somebody know that you have something, and you're probably not paying attention to the right things, and that you may not actually know how to use the protection that you're carrying. An advantage to having something like this is the element of, not the element of surprise, but the element of confidence. And what that means is that you're not necessarily preventing the attacker from knowing that you have the stun gun. They may see it in your hand, you may dry fire it for a second, but waiting until they've approached you or threatened you to let them know that, hey, I'm not walking around bragging about having a stun gun in my hand, but if you come at me, I'm going to use it. That kind of confidence and assertiveness is what will really deter an attacker from continuing to approach you. So another thing is, when you have that physical contact with the person, they're going to be fighting against you. Anybody that you stun or shock with an electrical charge, they're going to jump, they're going to move away. Ultimately, again, remember, we're trying to get away so that we can get somewhere safe. So if they are startled and they jump away, or they pull away, or give you that window of opportunity to get away, take advantage of it. Don't stick around and try to fight with them. But in that fighting, you may find it difficult to keep the stun gun against them for a full 3 to 5 seconds. And that's where layering your protection comes in. And if you want to know more about layering your protection, see my business page on Facebook, Pepper Spray Patty, or pepperspraypatty.blogspot.com is my blog that has a lot of good information about layering your protection and having an additional option if the stun gun isn't working. And especially having some defensive moves where you can punch them, fight them, jab them in the eye with something like a Kubotan or anything that you may also have in hand or layered with your stun gun. Nice big sharp point on that Kubotan there. Or also being able to, kick them in the groins or the shins or something like that. So a lot of different options for layering. But let's get back to the stun guns. So when you're choosing the right stun gun for you, you want what's realistic for your needs. If you're someone who doesn't need a lot of things throughout your day, you're not going to carry a big purse. You're going to carry a small purse, right? Because it fits your needs. But if you're someone like myself who has a lot of papers and a lot of things that I have to take with me when I'm out and about, a small purse doesn't make sense for me. A bigger purse makes sense. So you want to figure out what your options are for stun guns and what your personal needs are. And this is the Runt, which again is available on pepperspraypatty.com, and Patty is P-A-T-T-I. It is very small and handy. It fits into the pocket in my purse so that when I'm getting out of my vehicle, I can pull it out and put it on my wrist and go. I love that it has a flashlight also. But I'm not reviewing the Runt because I love the Runt. So if you're looking for something that's small and handy and has a flashlight, this is a great option. But let's get back to the Stun Master, which is the reason that I'm talking to you today. This is actually a full-sized flashlight. And looks like a flashlight, feels like a flashlight, has a flashlight on it, but it also has the stun on it. Now, one of the things that I love about this is that it looks like a utility flashlight, has a great flashlight on it. This is, as a matter of fact, has a 120 lumen flashlight. It does have a high beam, it has a low beam, and it also has a strobe light on it, in addition to having the stun. So there's two places that this makes great sense. Regardless of what you are carrying for your own personal protection, this is a really good stun gun that you can keep in your vehicle. Why do I say that? Well, for one, it does come with all the chargers, and also has a plug-in charger and a car charger. So not only will you make sure that your stun gun is fully charged, but you can also actually use the USB cables and the stun gun to charge your cell phone. So it does happen that sometimes we are not prepared enough, and for some reason the car charger isn't in the car or something like that. You have a way that you can charge your phone. Nowadays we're using our phone for contacting people, contacting people, people being able to track where we are, using it for our GPS. There's a lot of needs and uses for the cell phone, so it's important that you have it in case of an emergency. If you need to, contact 911, you want to have your cell phone charged. So it has that great advantage for when you're out and you don't have that cell phone charger on you. Also, because of having the 3 different functions, this is really handy if you are out in the evening and you need to walk through the parking lot and it's not well lit. You can grab this and carry it so that you have a flashlight in hand. Or if you're out walking the dogs, this is a really good flashlight to have. Also, the advantage of having something like the strobe light is being able to, again, distract an attacker. So the way that you change the different functions on this flashlight is, and I know you can't see it because it's black, but there's a little switch here. This is the on-off switch. The first time you turn the flashlight on, it's the high beam. Turn it off, turn it on again, it's the low beam. Turn it off, turn it on again, it's the strobe light. Now this is also the safety feature for the stun part of this flashlight stun gun. And when you turn it on and then turn it up to the next setting, that actually primes the stun gun. The button for the stun is actually on the other side. So here's where the switch is and here's where the button is. So when you're carrying it, you're actually going to want to have your thumb on the switch and your finger near the button so that when something happens real quick, all you got to do is flip it and go. Now, that's not much of a safety feature as far as I'm concerned, and that's one of the reasons why I do choose to carry the Runt, is because it has the disable pin safety feature. This is great because you can keep these two separate, and therefore if you have the stun gun in your purse and you're around little kids and they happen to grab it, they're not going to accidentally shock themselves. This does not have a safety feature like that. So this would be more for if you have older kids, or it's only adults that are usually in your vehicle. This is not what I would recommend for someone with small kids around, because it would be very easy for them to hit the switch and then hit the button. So the StunMaster mobile charger flashlight stun gun is also a handy tool for all of my single ladies out there that live alone and want to have some personal protection in your bedroom. Because you're not having to worry about a disable pin or anything like that, this is great to keep in your bedside or in your bedside drawer. Or you can get one of those magnets and you can put it so that it mounts right onto your headboard in a discreet place, but somewhere where it's easily accessible, so that all you have to do is grab it. The moment that you hear a noise in your house, flip on that flashlight. Let me actually get it to, where you're either at the high beam, so when you're flashing it, you're flashing some pretty bright light, or set it so that you've got the strobe light portion, so that when you're flashing it at them, it'll actually make it more difficult for them to see. And then all you have to do is flip it to that last position, and boom, you're ready to go. Great for personal protection in your home, especially for the single women who live alone, and men also. I specifically work with women, so that's why I say that a lot, but definitely. Also, this is another, in addition to your vehicle, your garage. Maybe this is something you may need to have somewhere like in your utility room. Usually when people have an attached garage, the garage door leads into like a hallway or a utility room or something like that. You could have this mounted on the door near there, so that if you have a home invasion where someone comes in the front door and you're going to use the garage as your exit to leave, as you're running out, you can grab onto this, and so then as you're leaving the house, if the attacker is following you, you'll have something in hand. Again, if you want to know more about staging protection in your home, check out my Facebook page, Pepper Spray Patty, P-A-T-T-I, or on my blog. And like I said, that is pepperspraypatty.blogspot.com. So I love the StunMaster mobile charger flashlight stun gun for a lot of reasons. Just so that you know, it is 18 million volts and 4.6 milliamps. 18 million volts basically means that it's got a lot of force behind it. 18 million is a really good number. As a matter of fact, anything 1 million to 20 million is going to give you a good amount of force. 18 million means it will go through clothes, especially now that it is wintertime and people are putting on more layers. Also, if someone is under the influence, 18 million volts is a good number to be able to still affect them. Stun guns are not a guarantee. This is not going to necessarily incapacitate your attacker. I do want to make sure that you do understand that this should not give you a false sense of confidence. It should give you confidence and empower you to be able to defend yourself. But I want to make sure that you don't have a false sense of security that this is going to knock them to the ground and they're going to be in complete shock. That might happen. Depends on the person that is potentially attacking you. But do be prepared with multiple layers of options to protect and defend yourself. Because if someone is aware that you have the stun gun, they may be able to clench and prepare themselves for when you stun them, and then be able to fight resist the reaction that they're getting in their muscles. Or they may, like I said, they may just have a moment where they are trying to figure out what the heck's going on inside with their muscles, because those nerve impulses are being interrupted, and the muscles themselves are tightening up and doing extra work. And they may not have ever been stunned and may not realize, but they may have experienced a stun gun before, and they may be able to resist and fight. And that still gives you a little bit of an advantage, but be prepared that this may not completely incapacitate your attacker and put them to the ground to the point where they're convulsing. So just a heads up on that. But again, it's a possible advantage that you can have to fight and defend yourself. And I'd rather see you have something like this in your hands than have absolutely nothing at all and no way to fight or defend yourself. So again, this is the Stun Master Mobile Charger Flashlight Stun Gun, available at pepperspraypatty.com, and I will leave the website link. It is $44.99, but if you sign up as a customer, your order gets 10% off. So a little added advantage for you for becoming a regular customer with me. It doesn't mean you're going to get bombarded with emails and things like that, other than a thank you card from me or some, nice hello email or something like that. You're not going to get bombarded in your emails by signing up as a customer. It's just a way for you to get a 10% discount. If you have any questions on other stun guns or what might be the best options for you based on your lifestyle and your needs, definitely send me a personal message and I will make sure to connect with you, and we'll find out how we can best protect you. Have a safe and wonderful day, and stay warm.